sir.
Yeah, let me see. I press start streaming. Let me know when we good. You see me up there?
Going to it now.
One moment, guys. Shalom, shalom, everyone. Shalom. All right. Shalom, everybody. Shalom. Good to see everyone today. All right, let's see. So excited to prepare. All right. Just looking at all the beautiful people coming in here today. All right. So tonight we're not going to have a long show tonight. But yet and still, we're just going to give you, we're not going to leave you hanging, but we're going to give you just a brief introduction about what I'm going to be bringing. My brick I'm going to be bringing. So I'm just going to give you a quick introduction of myself for those of you who may not know, who probably have been seeing me off and on you understand, A Gathering 144 throughout the years. I like to stay in the background, but, when it's time for something, I'm a frontliner, so I have to do what I'm called to do. So, anyway, shalom and bless everyone. So, first, let me just go into, I want to give all honor and praises to the Most High God himself, Ahaya Shahaya, Bashem Yeshaya. And I want to give double honor, even though I am an elder, to all of my elders, right? Not only just the elders that are placed as elders under the Most High, but the elderly and ancient men of the Most High. Bless you all, and bless all the daughters of Zion today. So, like Elder Ricard said, you guys don't forget to, and we will actually give the the commercial on here very soon. I'm just moving on the land, just getting my little setup done. So I have a lot more to bring in store very soon. Make sure you guys check out that Hebrew and Bible Academy, right? And make sure you guys check out tomorrow night's broadcast on Wednesday nights. Besides that, the other things that are going to be coming on GOCC Media. So like Elder Ricard said, we're going to be live almost every day of the week for the most part. Don't forget to also check out Elder and Mars broadcast on Friday nights. I don't know if he's doing it every week or he's doing it every other week. Okay, he's been doing that for many years, laboring in the work. So just a quick introduction to myself. I started with this church in late 2008, and I was put over Houston, Texas. Okay. Shortly after that, I met Elder Ramar and many other beautiful brothers like Mark, Shakam, Elder Dale was on there, Yarack. Of course, my brother Deacon Ricard Malak, that's my blood brother. Elder Ricard, lawyer, his brother Yahawadah. So many more. The brothers in the UK that Dawadah, all of these brothers have been down for a long time. So I was around way back then when there was something called Justin TV and not it was Justin TV and not Ustream. We were also doing an old radio show where Elder Ricard will play that 12 Tribe song, and he would play my song Lucifer Be Gone. So if you were there back then you probably remember some of that stuff. But yeah, but I'm just a quiet guy, like to stay behind the scenes. But Elder, like, come on. So anyway, I ended up, with him building churches overseas. You understand, and that was a test in itself. Being overseas, living in the Middle East and Africa and places like that. So y'all heard my journey and my testimony. Some of them are, probably have y'all laughing, but yeah, I mean, I got this smile on my face. But Elder Ricard named me Lion and Warrior for a reason. So, but yeah, man, that's who I am. Some of the things that I like to do was formed, believe it or not, through the Most High. So I was just a brother back in the streets trying to hustle and grind and work hard like anyone else. But I learned a lot of things. The Most High created me. When I say that, he created us all, but it's new things that he brought out to me and other brothers and sisters since we started this walk. If you could accept him. I started to work out consistently with the Most High. I was a thin, skinny guy. I'm 210 pounds now. I was, and sometimes I'm 220 pounds, but I was only like 165 pounds when Elder Ricard met me. We did a lot of fasting and praying in those days. Not that we don't fast now, but it was just, it was a lot of learning that came with this, and learning how to just close your mouth as a young man and listen to our father figures and mentors, who was like Elder Ricard, Elder Iraq, people like that. So, but yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I went to Europe with my brother, started a restaurant for a little bit. He came back just recently, and he's doing that here. I went through a lot of ups and downs. Like I said, I went through like a Job, a Joseph, and a Jonas at the same time. And y'all, if y'all want to hear that, you can go back and listen to the interview with Elder Ricard. I can't go into all of that right now, but just wanted to give you something brief about me. I'm a family guy. I love my people. I don't need to say what I've done for my people. I let my people speak for themselves. So people know me for my works and not my mouth. So, but anyway, I'm going to say that's enough about me. Since you're going to be seeing me here, you're going to get to know me and the things that I like to do, the things I've learned. I'm not saying I'm an expert in everything, but at the end of the day, the scriptures tell us to provoke one another unto good works. And that's the most important thing, instead of trying to get some type of image or some type of accolades. You understand? And I believe it or not, I see a lot of you out there doing your works. And sometimes some of you feel like you probably don't receive credit for them, or, you want exaltation or whatever the case may be. But it's going to come in due time. The scriptures tell us to wait on our ministry. Check it out. I mean, there's a song that Elder Ricard is playing, One Into the Stars. I mean, that song is done like over 13 years ago, and it's just now getting played. I didn't ask for it to get played or anything like that. So I'm saying it to say, just because some of you may not be known or seen doesn't mean your work is not validated by the Most High. It's a time for everything. But that's another reason why Elder Ricard opened up this platform. And it's a time for everything to do things like this, to introduce some of you all. I see a lot of you guys out there cooking and planting and doing music, right? And guess what? It's going to be brought to fruition. We're going to show a lot of these things to the world, And those of you, especially those of you who are labored and you have a good name under your elders and your deacons, right? So that's an important part too, not just trying to get fame or vanity. So right now, what am I doing on this land since I've just moved here? I just moved here last week, literally. Right? I was under the house fixing a leak last Sabbath. I had to use some grace. It was a leak under the house. I had to use some grace fixing a leak under the house. So be careful what you wish for, because you're going to... This is what I've been telling my congregation in Houston. There's nothing the Most High is going to give you guys that you don't have to work for. So it's not something where it's something that's just falling out the sky, some type of blessing. You have a baby. What do you have to do to show you love that baby? You have to maintain that baby. You have to take care of that baby, change the diapers, take care of it while it's crying, feed it bottles or breast milk, whatever the case may be, right? What do you have to do when you're planting? You have to take your time out when the plant comes from a seed, right, to a sprout. You have to water it. You have to dress it. These are all of the things you have to do. And so the Most High tells us, you have to be patient for these things and diligent at the same time, simultaneously. So nothing I learned as I get older that the Most High is giving us, it's just going to fall out the sky. I didn't get this land. The land didn't fall out the sky for me. So I think a lot of people, the talents that you have in this world, before you got the truth, those are still good talents. You should still use them in the Most High's kingdom. You had more faith in Satan's kingdom than you have in the kingdom of the Most High. And this is a big problem. We are looking for handouts in the church and people to say, listen, our people are very resilient, right? So we know how to get it in the world, but now we got to find out how to get it in a nice a legal way, right? Not hitting licks, pulling stunts, doing all of this stuff. No, it's time for us to change, but not have fear. And do research. Study to show yourself approved. If you don't master anything, how can you teach someone it? So a lot of us also, we got to stop piecing things together and think we can go and get on YouTube and make a page and teach people. What I'm showing you on here is only going to be what I know. What I don't know, I'm going to bring another expert on here to show you how to do that, right? We don't want any vainglory or just throwing things together for the Most High's kingdom, right? No. So what have I been doing on the land? I'm going to go through a few of these things and, besides show you other things I'm going to be doing. Let's start with the land first. Let me get my notes here. I'm still learning how to work this program, so bear with me. One moment. All right, there we go. I got some of my notes here. So, first, what am I doing on this land here right now? This land right now is a blank canvas of 10 or more acres. What are my plans for the land? I'll give you a few plans. Maybe not every little thing, but to show you some of the basics. Right now, I'm building a chicken coop. I just showed you guys a shed that I built, and I'm going to show you that next week. I'm gonna have all these videos ready to go, show you the shed that I've made from my hands. Have I ever built before? I've built things, but I built a whole gazebo and swing in Egypt on the roof for my children. Yes, I have, but I've never built something that was close to a house. Built that with my hands with the help of some of my family members and my stepsons, my wife. Sometimes we would stay out there till like 3 o'clock in the morning. So we built a shed to take some of our tools out of our garage to put in to the shed so we would not be paying money to storage because things are very expensive right now. Right now I'm building a chicken coop and I plan on having at least 30 chickens to myself besides my deacon and my officer who's on the land with me. So that's what's going on right now and I'm having a lot of fun. Right, so that's what I'm doing right now. But I'm going to answer a few questions here that some of you may have in your mind, and then I'll answer some of your questions in the chat later. So the first thing I said, why did you get the land? So I came back about a few years ago, right? I think in 2021, 2019, something like, I don't even remember, to be honest. I've been so busy. But I came back a few years ago, and I already had in my mind when I came back here what I wanted to do, right? So I'm going to be teaching a little bit of faith here, faith and works. I didn't have a lot of money at all. I tried to get every job that I could get. No one would hire me, right? And I'm giving, because I know some of you may go through this. Even as an elder, I go through what the disciples went through, right? Leaving with nothing to country, having to start over. But it takes faith. It takes perseverance. It takes dedication. So I couldn't find a job. And my resume is good. I was a manager at every job I've ever worked at. right? So I'm applying for top positions, even some of the low positions. They just wouldn't hire me, right? And so I end up starting, as you know, my supplement company, KIIY Supplements. Kingdom is in you supplements, right? And just doing the work of the Most High, of the church or whatever. So through that, I still had in my mind what I wanted to do. I just continued to stay steadfast and, do whatever it took to get what I knew I wanted. I stayed and I rented a house, and I had to build a chicken coop because the home association wouldn't let you build it a certain way. You really ain't supposed to have chickens there like that. So it frustrated me a little bit. I'm like, nah, man, I got to get some land. In my mind, anyone who knows me, if you ask me to do something or if I say I'm going to do something, they like kind of scared about it because he's like, no, what do we need? What we got to do? Oh, let's do it today. Let's do it tomorrow. That's just how I am. And so that's how some of you need to be instead of talking about it so much. Right. So I end up getting my credit right. I didn't know anything about credit till I got back. I was a hustler back in the days. I didn't know anything about credit till I got back. So I knew that I needed to work on that. So why am I saying all of these things? Nothing is just going to fall out of the sky. Be diligent. Study to show yourself approved, meaning whatever all of these things that you need to do, you have to study them. They're just not going to just happen for you. And when you pray for something, make sure whatever you pray for that you're willing to be able to maintain. The Most High said, he who is faithful, with least is faithful in much, right? So if he gives you something like you said, you for example, you pray, I want a car. You never take care of the car, get the oil change. You're always letting the car run out of gas. Why would the Most High now come back and bless you with something else? And I really know a lot of people in the truth like this. They're complaining and asking for help and this and that, and they can't even take care of the basics. So how will you be responsible to take care of something in the kingdom? Right? And sometimes we just waste a lot of time on social media and watching their lifestyles instead of doing what we need to do to do what we need to do for our family. We need to get our houses in order. That's the first thing. Your family business. Back in the days, in the ancient times, the family is living together. The daughter is, if she ain't living with no husband, she's living under her father or under her uncle or grandfather. It's about that family business first. Get your household in order. Get your family together, and stop getting in the truth and just being so gung-ho like some of us probably all did when we were young. But it's not too late to change that and go back and fix that so you can have certain things with your families, right? So I did these things. I got my credit right. I did what I needed to do. You understand? I came together with some people that like mine. Why? Because 10 acres was just a little bit too much for me to live on alone, right? It's a lot to manage. So I'm going to go into some of these things like be careful what you get because you're going to have to maintain it. If you got 1 acre, 3 acres, you probably can maintain that. But in the end time, it's about having one purse to a certain degree. Am I telling you guys to go out there and get it with strangers? No, I say you should get it with your family. Okay? There's no one size fit all scenario. I am the elder. This land is owned by leadership. Okay? Who's in like mind and sat down with conversations before anything happened. And men are ruling it, not women. No, nothing against my sisters. But if you want to do that, you should get with some leadership or your husband, whatever the case may be, because you're going to get out there and cut that grass alone and chop that wood? I think not. Right? So anyway, I did what I needed to do to get this goal. Okay? So anyway, why did I get the land? That's one of the first questions I said, right? Why did I get the land? Well, Elder Ricard has been telling us for a long time what we need to do to prepare. The scriptures tell us we need to prepare. Is everyone going to get land? No. But guess what? You at least need to be doing with saving food, saving water, whatever instruments you need to prepare yourself for the times to come. And the Most High is going to figure out the rest. Figure that part out first. Don't try to figure out goals that are too big for you. Not that you can't do them, but one step at a time, right? So, why did I get the land? Hey, I just said it. If you can attain this, do it. And you know, I have always been a person who, if I have a dog, I want the dog to run free. That's just me. You don't have to do that. I wanted to have no one to tell me what to do where I live. If I want to shoot on my land, I got 10 acres or more, I can shoot on my land. No one's going to come on my land and tell me what I can do and what I can't do. And I feel like we all should be able to live like that, work towards those things, right? So that I wanted to be able to plant food, and regardless if time was going crazy or not, and we're in the end times or not, I still would have been doing the same things, because these are the things that we read about our forefathers doing, right? So those are some of the reasons I got land. What type of land? Well, you guys have to consider what type of land you want to get for you and your family. What are your necessities? What can you handle? If you got 10 acres, you're going to need a tractor. We had to come together and get a tractor to cut that grass. They got snakes in that grass sometimes. You need that tractor to come there and cut that grass, because that lawnmower is not going to be enough. So a lot of these things are, you understand, things that you guys have to think about. What type of land? So I have land that doesn't have a lot of trees. It has trees, a lot of trees on the front area, but it didn't have a lot of trees here. So, but this was the land for me. You may want land with a lot of trees, but understand one thing: when you get land with a lot of trees, you may have to clear the land. That costs money. So why am I telling you this? Not to discourage you. Everything you ask for is going to need maintaining. Are you ready for that blessing? Are you taking care of what you have now before you get that blessing? Did you study? Did you call your county? Did you look up, things on Google? Did you read it in the newspaper, books, whatever the case may be? Did you ask an expert? You can't just get on land and be like, yo, do we got the land? No, that has nothing to do with us. Because if you get counsel, I'm not a land expert. I'm just giving you the things from my experience, what I learned, right? I'm going to be planting trees to get shade on my land. You may say, hey, I don't want all that sun. So you need to find out what are your necessities, because the scriptures tell us all things are not profitable for all men. What was the most challenging about buying land? Whoa, it was a challenge. You guys know how it is to buy a house. How getting approved is one of the most frustrating things that you have to be diligent and have patience about. Most people give up. Most people say, I can't do this. Right? I'll tell you some of the challenges, guys. Coming on land with no trees is a little hot, but we have a plan to plant trees, right? And there's trees you can buy that's already big as well. People deliver trees that you can put in. That's one of the things. Not only that, the ground being hard. If you have hard clay soil, if you have sandy soil, all of these things have their benefits and their issues that come with them. Okay? Having drainage on your land so your land doesn't flood. Do you live in a floodplain? Do you live in a plain where it could, where storms come? Right? You have to think about all of these things, critters and animals. So I think sometimes we think as the children of Israel, because we're the children of Israel, God just gives us anything, and it just solves itself. No. Even David himself was a king, right? And he still had to go to war and fight physically. Was the Most High there with him? Yeah, but he had to get up. We had to walk out of Egypt. Right? Christ had to walk around, even though he did certain things at certain times that was very spiritual with the Holy Spirit. There's still a lot of works we have to do. It goes hand in hand is what I'm saying. Faith without works is dead. That's what I'm here to say. Faith without works is dead. Getting what type of house you want on your land. You have to check with your county. And I'm telling this for people who don't know. It's only because when I ask in my congregation, for example, listen to what I'm going to say real quick. A lot of our people sometimes, this is just a little side note, want to go so hard on the law, this and that. And you say, okay, if none of you believe in paying tithes, who, raise your hand, who has sheep and goats and cows to pay the elders or the leaders of tithes? None. No hands up. Excuse me, I got kind of close to the mic. No hands up. So what does that say? People start looking like, well, you're making a lot of sense now. You don't have no goats, no sheep, no cows. And even if a few of you have them, that's not talking about the whole nation. So sometimes the scriptures tell us that we have a zeal for the Most High, but not a knowledge. I keep going back to knowledge, right? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. Okay. So we need to start studying more, reading books, educating ourselves. Okay. Instead of just thinking stuff is just going to come to us. Most of the things we pray for, we want to pray for them and we use them on our lust. Once we're done using them on our lust, we want to look at the other brother or sister and covet after them. Right? So, anyway, getting the house on the land, a little challenging. You got to make sure your credit is right. Okay. Make sure you have that down payment. You got to make sure you have the down payment for the land. You got to make sure you have money for the well. Or sometimes these things come in packages. You may have the well. You may have the culvert, the bridge that you need to get on your land. Another challenging thing is waiting on a company here, a light company called Centerpoint. Centerpoint took the longest, guys. It's stuff that they were supposed to do 8 months ago before we got our land. That they got done way late, and they don't care. So that was a challenge. I mean, it took a lot of patience that most people, when Elder Ricard probably says, get land and do this and that, most people will give up. But aren't you kings and queens? Aren't you going to be the judges of the earth? Don't give up on the challenges, guys. Or if you're not a person who the Most High can give you $1 million today, right? And you don't get, I wouldn't get excited. I don't need the money. Money is just a tool for me. Then you just take that money and just go spend, I know people who was getting this PPP thing broke now. Broke. How? And they asking people for money again. So what I'm saying, people, I'm talking to most of what we deal with our people. How to help you to put things in proper order before you do things. So you don't discourage yourself, because you may not be ready for that blessing that you're asking the Most High for, right? Besides that challenge, getting a septic or a sewage system on your land, you need to have another down payment. And down here, $8,000 to $10,000 for a septic. So how can we get all of this money, Elder? We are lacking financial literacy, right? So that's why this is called troop preparation, because first of all, I'm putting things in perspective for you really quick so you to look at things. A lot of us spend too much. A lot of us have our priorities wrong. You see me, and listen, I'm here to tell you, I drive a van. I don't have any pride. I came back and the Most High gave me something to drive. It's a tool. You know what made me think like that? Before I left, XL, he was riding in my Chrysler 300. I had rims. I had TVs in there, Rolls Royce grill, had an Expedition on rims. That's how I like to ride back in the days. But now it's not nothing wrong with driving nice. But do you really need that before you get something that's actually going to sustain you in these times? So I'm teaching you guys, like I said, priority for your family. This is very important. You know how we are. We get the big rim cars and we're staying in the apartments, right? It's like men just work for cars in a chain, but don't have anything to leave down to their children. Most of us don't even have life insurance for our children. Okay, these are the things this is truth preparation, guys. This is true preparation. We are not responsible. Your parents will call you, on a side note, because I know we're going to get back to this list. Your parents will call you, not your parents, your family will call you someone in the family died, they need you to, put money for it to help bury them. And that's okay. If you have it, it's okay. But you know what I started doing? I started calling around like, listen, does dad have life insurance? Does mom have life insurance? If they don't or they can't afford it, if we're brothers and sisters, instead of me taking the money that I use for my own children and my family, I will help you guys pay for it for a whole year, because instead of us coming outside of our pocket, oh, we need money, and then they need some lump sum of $10,000 to $20,000 to bury our family member in honor, we can do it now without the life insurance. But really, our parents should be responsible to be doing this so that they don't leave a burden behind. We got everything backwards. There's nothing wrong with us helping our parents, but I call like, listen, we'll pay that thing up for the year. Instead of me coming outside and then you trying to take some lump sum from me. Because it's happened to people I know just recently. It's just unfortunate, man. Like, we really have to prepare a little bit better in our households and in our families, guys. It's unresponsible. We're not the nation of Israel yet. We are growing to be. We're coming out of captivity, growing to be the nation of Israel. Just because you put on some fringes, just because you got your hair wrapped, right? Just because you make some music, all this stuff. Guess what? That don't mean you're the nation of Israel yet. It's some basic things that Gentiles get that we don't get. And it's not our fault in every aspect, because we keep coming from the curses and the curses. But it has to change somewhere. Because we be praying to the Most High, and there's a lot of things we can do first before he exhausts his power out. And it ain't easy. It doesn't happen overnight. But what I'm saying is, let's put things in priority, guys. Because some people will say, me and my wife put together a seminar for the church in Houston of how to get land. And, it helped a lot of people. A lot of people thought about, can I really do it? Can I not do it? And some people will take their money and just buy land and not know everything else that it entails. This is not to discourage you. This is to encourage you and to provoke you to good works. To say, hey, let me follow steps 1, 2, and 3 before I try to get to step 4. And it's okay. As long as you're following those steps and you're taking it serious, the Most High is going to meet you halfway, right? So, was it a hard transition for your family? I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Yeah, I like to keep it 144,000 to help my people, right? Because a lot of us read the Bible, but now it's time to start putting it in action. Okay? Was it a hard transition for your family on the land? We talk about it. It wasn't. They were very excited. My children were very excited. It was just more so surreal to be able to look out in the stars at night and how peaceful the sleep is and how quiet it is. But I look at it as a transition into the wilderness, right? What is most different about living in the country than in the city? Well, I think I'll be living on this land for a while, eventually going back into the city. And every time I go back into the city, because I'm only about 20 to 30 minutes out, it's going to start looking like Sodom and Gomorrah to me every time I go back. But there's more convenience in the city, of course, but you have to go shopping, bulk shopping a little bit more. It's just more peaceful here. I wouldn't want to be out there in some type of zombie apocalypse or something happen, regardless if it happens or not, or attack of the demons, however it happens. And I'm with next door neighbors, and they right there looking at me, and they see me coming in and out every day, knowing everything I have. So that's a big difference for me of safety. Safety, right? So, I mean, of course, there's many restaurants, like we said, convenience and just things like that. But in these times, we don't really want to be so close to people who are sick and things like that. So I kind of want my privacy, right? And so, like I said, for some of you who like, man, I can't do it yet, don't you worry, because that doesn't mean your time will not come, or that the Most High won't say, hey, you couldn't get this, but I got a place for you over here. So you can only do what you can do now. Don't get discouraged, because maybe there's some things that he wants you to do before you do that. Have you guys ever been in a situation where, you know, you've been trying to do something and you feel like it's just not going your way? Sometimes it's a test, and sometimes the Most High don't want you to go in that direction. Maybe you need to re-examine things, right? And then you do something else, and the Most High is showing you a little a smoother passage for that way, because that's the way He wants you to go, right? What is most different about? How can the land be a transition to the wilderness? Woo, man. How can the land be a transition to the wilderness? Well, on this land, we have sat down as neighbors. Like I said, I own this land with a deacon and an officer, and we have rules. Those rules go according to, very similar to the ways that we kind of will be living in the wilderness. Not in every aspect of following the law like over righteous. No, just keeping it clean, keeping the peace. One way we keep the peace is keeping the women out of things, keeping them not worried about things that men should be dealing with. If there's any issues, we deal with it as men. Because when men talk to each other, we deal straight. It's peace. You know, for women, you can't give them too much. They need to focus on their households and their children. Okay? So it can help us. We have to make a lot of things from scratch, because you can't go to the store every day. It teaches you, if you want to live the homestead life, how to dehydrate, how to freeze dry, how to milk animals. Just basically, overall, when you're a homesteader, it's a lot more things you have to do for yourself than depending on the grocery store to do it. That in itself is going to prepare you for the wilderness. The peace of mind when you come outside to pray to the Most High, that's going to prepare you for the whole atmosphere. It's just a transition. So your children drinking well water will be drinking well water in the wilderness, or spring water from a rock. So we don't have everything at our leisure. That's another way it will transition us into the wilderness. So yeah, and just like I said, practicing order. A lot of us don't really know our God. We were talking about this the other day, like and you know, and it's just as out of the blue, but for a sister or a daughter to commit fornication or whoredom, she would get burned with fire. This is a God that we serve, guys. We got grace right now. We got grace. So if we was to ever go back under anything close to what we were under in the law, let me tell you, us coming in this truth, transitioning ourselves into what we've been cast away from, it'll help us get as close as we can to the way we'll be living in the wilderness. Some of us got to relax and let the Most High transition us instead of trying to put the law back on us. Because, like I just said, it was very crucial the way the Most High dealt with us. He get mad like a father in the house and just start whipping everybody. Start killing everybody, where Moses had to get on the ground and start praying to save some of us. And you read in Josephus, he even let the serpents bite the good people. You know, now the good people did not die, but he was letting them know, you can get it too. So, you know, a lot of us can't take for granted the grace that we have, and we need to kind of take this walk a little bit more serious. Not too serious, like I said, to where we are burdening others with the law, because everyone's on different levels, but to each in his own household, everyone's on different levels. That's how we have to kind of walk in this thing, not walking around judging people, right? So I'll digress with that part about the transition to the wilderness. It's so many things I can go into, but I can only say what I'm thinking at the time. And if there's anything else you guys might put out there in the chat, you know, that'll be great at the end. Why did you decide to be a beekeeper? Well, I didn't decide to be a beekeeper. there's somebody else who keeps bees in the church, I think, and we will bring them on as well to give them a platform to be able to show you some of the things that they have learned as well. But the agriculture tax that you get from keeping bees in Texas, this is the reason why we decided to keep bees. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't really want to keep bees at first. I was just like, I ain't trying to get stung. You know how black people think, like, I don't mess with animals. But when they was like, well, you can pay these taxes, look at how much things are going up. Inflation is at an all-time high, right? The money is not worth what they say it is. So I was like, okay, if land cost is going up, those taxes, the percentage, I don't remember the exact percentage of those taxes in Texas, but when we did the calculations, it wasn't something that could not be paid. But imagine, for instance, if my taxes was $4,000 a year, something you can pay, right? But check it out. Imagine your land goes up to 5%, 10%. Will you continue to be able to pay those taxes? Even if you were able to, would you want to do such a thing? If your land is worth $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, you got to think about that. So not only did the bees help with that situation, and you have to know according to your county how much bees do you have to have for a certain amount of acres. So how many acres do you have to have, or vice versa. But we had to have at least 5 acres or more to be able to have bees as a agriculture tax. Now, for you to have cows on your land for that same tax, you can have cows on your land anytime you want, but we're talking about specifically when it comes to ag tax. You had to have 40 acres or more. So I think that's where the 40 acres and a mule came from. It wasn't just give us 40 acres and a mule. I'm learning now the tax was involved. If you have one cow on 40 acres, you got ag tax, right? So for us, the bees was the best thing, because there's another thing you can do. You can put a bunch of hay on your land. You can put a bunch of trees on your land. But I couldn't see me just having a bunch of hay sitting on my land and not doing anything with it just to get an ag exemption. I couldn't see me just planting so many trees on my land to where I can't do anything. Like I can't drive. I can't, because you have to have like hundreds. So the best thing for us was, well, guess we got to get the bees. We looked at it not in a negative way at first, but it's like, man, we want to get bees eventually, but we don't want someone to just slam it on us like that. But guess what? You don't get everything you want to in this world the way you want it. So you can't be angry at the things that you can't control. So I said, well, I'm going to look at it like a blessing. Because guess what? If things shut down, what do I have? Honey. I have food, because you need bees to pollinate your flowers for your food. Or you're going to be trying to hand pollinate cucumbers and zucchini and all of these other things. Listen, I've hand pollinated before. Let me tell you, it is some work. You have to take the male flower and pollinate it with the female flower. It is some work. So having bees is going to make sure that your food grows on your land. Okay, so that is one reason that I became a beekeeper, and now I love it. I'm to the point to where if someone can't get their bees off their land, holler at me. I will put that bee suit on. I'm coming with OG Yatai. We call him Officer Yatai. We call him Ice Water Earth. we coming with, Deacon Alarm and Ice Water Earth. We're going to put them bee suits on. We come take them bees for you. All we need is a little money or a little honey. Which one you going to give us? So it taught us a trade as well. It taught us a trade. Me building this shed taught me a trade. Me having a tractor, if things shut down, I can go cut someone's grass. I can go dig them a pond. I can go, whatever the case may be. Take some dirt off of their land. So having land has a lot of benefits to it. So this is what I mean when it comes to the benefits of being a beekeeper and why I became a beekeeper. And I am really excited to learn much more. And I'm going to be showing you guys the updates on on the bees. And we get into a few last questions, and then we're going to go into me answering a few questions for you guys. Right? I'm going to be myself on here. You guys are going to get to see my personality. Right? Benefits of having more than 10 acres in Texas. So I'm not going to go down the whole list. I think I stated some of those things already. But yeah, being able to shoot on your land, but you do need to understand there's certain types of REM fire that you probably can't have on that land. You need to check with the county to see. You have to have a mound of dirt, whether it's tight. You have to see the restrictions in each county that you live in of what type of land you have to where you can shoot on it. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was cutting grass, right? Yeah, this is a funny story. I was cutting grass in the big old tractor we have. And then I'm excited about getting a tractor because tractors do not lose value, guys. You can buy a 1960, 1940, 1989. That tractor gonna still cost you about 10 G's, 4 G's. Right? Tractors are expensive. I was just talking to a brother in Mississippi about that. Tractors are a great value. You can be riding around in your nice car and you see a brother driving around on a riding lawnmower. Look at how much those riding lawnmowers cost at Home Depot or Lowe's. You're going to have a little bit more respect for a brother with some land because that costs as much as a car. $4,000 or $5,000 for one of those things. And an old, dirty tractor. Y'all go see me riding on a tractor soon, right? But those things keep value. So I said that to say, Elder Ricard is telling you guys to invest in assets. I'm not here to tell you what type of assets to invest in. That's not my job. I'm telling you, this is your job to do your research so that you won't come back and say, hey, Elder told me to invest in this and that, and then it failed. Hey, so I'm going to leave that part up to you guys, right? But anyway, that's one thing of having 10 acres or more. The type of dwelling that you can live on the land. You can live in a barndominium type of home. You can live in a mobile home. You can build your home. You can live in a shipping container home. Some of the land you get, though, they don't want that type of things on there. What another thing, side note, that we wrote by living on land, whether it's with your family or friend, whatever the case may be, let me tell you. First of all, don't buy any land with someone who you can't see yourself living with for a long time, regardless if they're in Christ. You might think you can live with that person, but that doesn't mean that you actually will be able to. So get with wise men, your elders, or your congregation before you do such a thing. I'm an elder. I've been in the church. I know what I'm doing, right? But anyway, I think I just lost my track of mind. What was I saying here? Let me look in the chat. Who could tell me what I was just saying? I forgot what I was just saying. But anyway, unrestricted land. There you go. Who is that? Got to give a shout out to Glendine Evans. Unrestricted land. There we go. Unrestricted land. Like I said, you can get shipping containers. You can get different things. You have to look at your county and the restrictions of the state that you live in to what you can do on that land. We don't have any restrictions here. We can put any type of fence, any type of gate. We can have it. You know, the funny thing, you can have everything on here except for hogs. I was like, oh yeah, sign us up. Praise the Most High. We don't want no hogs on the land anyway, because hogs will tear your land up. You couldn't have any hogs or any type of compost toilets in your house. So why did I go through all of these things about land today? I'm going to actually be showing you videos next time of some of the things that's on the land, some of the things you can do, right? How you can delegate to get people to help you so that you guys are not working so hard. Okay, because some of you work so hard, you work yourselves in the grave. You got to delegate and call for help sometime. It's okay to call for help, guys. But yeah, we can't have no hogs on the land. Praise the Father for that. So we're not going to stay on here too much longer. Let me go through just a few things, ideas I have outside of the land. And then I'm going to answer just a few questions, and then I have to prepare for next week because, like I said, I just moved in here. So I'm not prepared, for all of these things just yet. But we got a lot of exciting things to come. Okay, we're going to be bringing articles on why you should prepare. Like the scriptures tell us about, and I think it's in Second Ezra. I was looking for that scripture before I got here. I wanted to ask Elder Amar, because me and him were discussing it about 2 weeks ago, about how they're destroying all of these food distribution centers. It actually talks about this in scripture, okay? And it's very important for us, like Elder Ricard said, and some people are out there saying canning, right? Doing things like canning, getting you a dehydrator or a freeze dryer, right? So we're going to be talking about why that is so important, bringing some people on who are actually doing it. I follow some of you on Instagram, and I see some of you beautifully doing it, putting it to action, putting it to works. That's going to help others. Okay, we want to show your talents out there, that Israelites are not only people who are just cursing people out. First of all, I don't even call it an Israelite. That's not an Israelite, according to Christ. I'm sorry to tell you. Okay, we are peaceful people. We seek no harm to people, but we don't want nobody to come and mess with us. We already know that, but that's who we are, and we have talent, right? So funny how these so-called sicknesses keep following us. They must love the talent or something. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm just saying, but yeah. So also with the music, we're going to do some things with music. I have a lot of pillars in this church. Brother Bronze, Deacon Quadam, Brother Akwan, Brother Shadayawar, people like that. Like I said, people who, long as you're good, in good standing with your elders, I don't mind showing your face on here. I don't mind eventually giving you an interview. But the type of person I am, I'm with this thing all the way. So what I'm saying is, if I taste any vanity, or you just, you know what I mean, or you see, this is the thing. just do it for the love of the Father, and just be genuine about it. Don't try to do too much, because when you do that, it won't last long, guys. I've seen a lot of people come and go. That's the only reason I'm telling you that. So I want to show your faces and things like that, and interview people. And like I said, I'm going to actually be very soon bringing on some people, and I'm going to have my brother AC to help me to work this thing the right way, because I'm still learning this new program here. I want to interview some artists. For instance, we got Brother Quadam, very lyrical brother like myself. I'm a ghostwriter. I've been ghostwriting for a lot of people for a long time, and I actually had to dumb my music down, because the music in this world started to dumb down. But I'm taking it back to the lyrics. And I'm from Houston, Texas, born in Louisiana, but I still like to rap with lyrics. And I'm saying it because it was really an East Coast thing to do that. But you got people like Quadam, right? He's very lyrical, but people will not 10 years later, 3-4 years later, be like, I just not got you what you was saying in that song, man. And a lot of people would do that to me too. So I'm going to bring brothers like that on and say, man, I want you to spit this verse, right? And we'll have the verse there. And I want you to tell us what inspired you to write this verse. What did you mean right here? What were you going through at this time of your life when you wrote this verse, right? So these are some of the things we're going to be doing, so we can get to know who we're laboring amongst in this walk, and what the Holy Spirit inspired them and put in them to do such a work, right? So we want the world to know these things, right? Because Hebrews have talent, man. Hebrews have talent. So I'll be looking around. You don't have to try to find me. I will find you. I know how to find you. Okay? I know how to find you. If what you're doing is genuine, I'm not picking it just because you have a lot of views. It don't work like that with me. Okay? I'm not picking it just because that's who the crowd loves, and because you think that you've been doing this a long time, you should be. I'm not going to pick you because of that. Right? So I'm going to know who you are. I've been doing this a long time. I'm not, you know what I mean? So because none of us are doing this for fame. I want genuine genuine people, because all Israel is not Israel. I'm just keeping it real with you guys, right? So we got where one singer goes, another singer comes in. It's just what it is, or rapper, or whatever the case may be. We got too many of them, but whatever. So, but we gonna get them on, right? And in the near future, ooh, have I got something for you singers and rappers? I can't talk about it right now, but boy, yeah, listen, oh yeah, y'all gonna love that. I've been planning this for a long time, and ask anybody about me, anything I'm planning, if it be the Most High's will, it comes true. I said we was gonna build that shed. That shed was built in about a week or two, right? You're right. Oh yeah, let's do it tomorrow. That's how I am. You know, Elder Carr is like, listen, don't call me until you got it done. So don't, oh, I got this idea, this and that. Why you ain't start on it yet? You know what I mean? Like if y'all want him to do it, and he already got a lot of work. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna be having some singers on, and rappers, and probably some people who do poetry too. We got some dancers here, like the sister who danced in my video. My goodness, this sister is killing it. She's in my church. I forgot her name. Excuse me for that. I'm sorry, my sister. But people who do cooking, we got to bring some of our cooks on here. Right? We want to show the world, you know, what they've been stealing from us. KFC, all of these things that they sell in the store that they didn't copy and stole from us. We want to show what some of our sisters is working with. We also want to show things like this. Let me see if I can go on my my bodybuilding channel and show you some things that we have. Things like this here, how to make a self-feeding fire. We have things like that. Oh, by the way, I have to give a shout out to Lion Born Fashion, Elder Rock. You gotta cop that. Lion Born Fashion. Go check his Instagram out. Yeah, here's the video here. Let me try to pull this video for you guys. One moment. Yeah, so one moment here. I just want to show this really quick. We're gonna be bringing gardeners on as well. Okay. One moment. I know AC's looking at me like, oh, please don't mess this up. All right. So let's see here. One moment.
We got my man Andre Rashad back in the gym.
We're gonna be showing stuff like this and interviewing gardeners, and we want to see different techniques that they have that we can share with one another to make sure we have fruitful gardens.
And that's fact.
Because the soil and the chemtrails that they put, we need all the ideas that we can. Check it out.
You already know what time it is. So a lot of people ask what I fertilize my garden with. I use a lot of different stuff. I use like I told you, my organic tea compost. I got a video of that I'm about to show you. But this is a quart size mason jar, 32 ounce mason jar. This is 1/4 bone meal, 1/4 bone meal, 1/4 blood meal, and half kelp meal. And I shake it up. Once I mix these up, I put that into the compost bag, or I put it directly into the soil. So y'all might witness either one, but I'm gonna show you.
My bad. This is brother Andre Rashad from Gocc, Virginia. This brother be putting in straight work. I mean, he is always consistent. He uploads a lot of videos to my page, Bodybuilding. It's Bodybuilding in Christ. That's what it stands for. But he uploads a lot of plant videos, and this brother's a great musician and artist as well. So check that out. But here we go.
Then I rose up, calling out your name, squabbling like Luke Kane. All about my chain.
Fast forward to here 1 second. So he's pouring that on the garden.
Said they made it on the moon, but they ain't make it there. The same time travel, just move the time back. That's okay. He left them scriptures in that time.
And mix it in, and that's great tea. This is green tea. This is pops. This is what I do.
One moment.
All right, what's up, family? So a lot of people ask me, what do I do for compost? This is what I do for compost. This is tea. I know this sounds crazy, but so I'm going to show you my compost bin and how I chop my vegetables and my fruits up. I'm going to show you some worm tea also, but this is organic tea. This is green tea. This is pomegranate tea, organic tea. You actually can take about 5 to 6 tea bags, 8 at the most, pour it into a bucket of dirt and mix it in. And that's great for the dirt. I'm telling you, all the minerals that are in the tea for your body, same minerals that's good for the dirt. Same exact minerals. So I can put this inside my garden bed. I can plant a tree in this, which I'm actually going to do. But I can also do multiple buckets of this. I can use a whole box of tea, probably about 30 bags, and probably do an entire garden bed, if not more than 30 bags. I'll probably do 100 tea bags for my whole entire garden bed. Compost. I put it in the compost bag, right?
There you go.
Put it in the compost bag. Then I take my shovel and I break up the compost. You know what I'm saying? So I usually chop this until the vegetables are no longer recognizable and everything has become compost. And this is excellent for your garden, for your mini farm, for your orchard, whatever you got. I'm telling you, the compost is straight from out your kitchen. All organic fruits and vegetables that either that we didn't quite finish or that didn't.
And let me tell you guys, for those of you who don't know, I know some of you using organic fertilizers, but what this brother is doing right here is ancient technology when it comes to planting. I know most of you know, but we're telling the people who don't know. Putting food scraps in your trees, next to your trees, fish heads, taking banana and eggshells and burning the eggshells and the bananas, that your plants will absorb them more sooner than just letting them break down. But either way, listen, it's going to bring the biome and then the bacteria to your soil and make it live, because a lot of soil is lacking that. So what he's showing here is something that's free, guys. It doesn't take any money. We spending a lot of money on commercial things, and it's okay, but both of them together, I mean, man, I got some in my strawberries right now. I'm going to show you guys soon. Any plants that I have that I put, old food scraps in, flourishing. You will bring these things back to life. So just try it out. Watch some of these videos, learn. You understand. And we're going to be having this brother on to talk about what inspired him to garden. How did he get into it, right? And then, maybe another time for his music or something like that.
Didn't quite turn into what you thought it would. Out your garden, you can put it right back into the garden and repurpose it. All right, what's up, family? Look, we in the garden with it. Y'all know what time it is.
Look, he getting off of work, grinding.
I want to show y'all two things.
No excuses.
I want to show y'all two things. I just got off work. I still got the work shirt on. You feel me? We got to get straight to it. No days off. I want to show y'all two things that's going to help you in the garden. Make sure that angle right. Yeah.
I'm going to answer some of your questions as soon as this video is done. I'm going to go into some questions for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we're going to close it out.
Take two. Let's get this work.
So I got to get some of this good old food my daughter done cook.
Nutrients to the soil, organic matter. You want to get organic matter in any way you can. I always show y'all how to compost. But it's
here we go. Somebody talking about witchcraft. Y'all funny.
This is wood chip.
Lord mulch.
Wood chip.
The Most High say pour the blood in the ground. The same food comes out that ground, guys.
And it helps weed control. 2 birds, 1 stone. The real secret, though, this is the real one right here. I got y'all. Hold on. This right here is the real one. Yeah, it's the real one. Leaves, bro. Look, I go to my neighbor's houses, right? I ask them, do they need their leaves raked? They're like, yeah, you gonna rake the leaves for free? I'm like, yeah, the only condition is I want to take the leaves. Let me rake them and take them. They're like, you want to rake them, man? Yes. They're good for the soil. They return organic matter to the soil. You want to keep your soil full of nutrients so you can grow every year crops? I'm telling you.
Look how green them tomatoes is, y'all. That's carbon right there what he's putting in the ground.
Trying to give y'all the free game on the gram. Free game, you feel me?
So don't forget to come back and check us out.
All right, so
send them videos.
Y'all subscribe to that page as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to Gocc Media, because we are going to be, showing you guys, you understand, a lot of things. And we're going to take it little by little. I'm going to get better at working this dashboard and everything. And I'm a master at everything I do. So once I learn it, it's going down. But anyway, let's just answer a few questions really quick. I'm only going to answer them for about 5 to 7 minutes. So let me see, because it's a lot of people on here. Just give me some time. I know y'all quick with the hands on the chat. That's why Elder Rock be having to block some of y'all. I mean, not block some of y'all. Whatever you be doing. Anyway, so here we go. We started earthworm casting, about to harvest some casting soon. What is his YouTube channel name? It is Bodybuilding. It's capital B, O-D-Y, space, capital B, building. Okay, bodybuilding. Let me see. I'll type it in the chat, guys. And it's not that easy to find because it's a new page. Let me see if I can just send the link into the chat. Is that possible? I'll just do it like that. One moment. See if that allows me to do that. Okay, there we go. All right, old school on this computer. All right, any questions, guys? Okay, so yeah, let me scroll up to see. Oh my goodness, is buying land lump sum payment or monthly payments? Well, you have the choices, guys. You have the choice to buy the land. If you have that money saved up, you can buy it outright. I would rather buy it outright, personally. Okay, but if you can't, you still paying on it, right? The only thing is sometimes the interest rate, you will be paying double down the line if you don't try to pay it off fast enough. So when you get it, just try to have a plan of what type of land to get. Don't get it to go broke. Get it to where you are living below your means, so where you can save your finances to actually be able to pay that land off. So that's the goal with getting land, not to go broke. Okay, don't get in a worse situation if you're going to buy land, all right? Let me see. Do you know how to build an underground water well? Oh, the REI. Well, you know what's funny? We're actually working on something called a shallow. Who is this? This is Sister Apanawa. Please forgive me if I mess your name up. I got Gad in me too. That sounds like a Gadite name. So do I know how to build a underground water well? Well, we're working on it now, and I have some videos. We just have not finished it yet. I'm actually going to be doing that and collect a big old giant rainwater tank so we can collect rainwater. Both of those options in case the grid goes down. Another thing is, like Elder Carl said, get you guys a Generac or a solar generator, whatever the case may be. Just something in case the lights go off that you can have. Let me see, any more questions? What do you mean, outlaw? I didn't say outlaw. Maybe she's asking that to someone else. So I said I'm answering questions for 5 to 7 minutes. It's 8:03. Let me go back up and see was there any more questions. What is this YouTube channel? Man, I can't wait to bring some of you people on here. Show the world who our people are. I know some people freaked out with the dry bone meal, but listen, when we did sacrifices, where did the blood go? The scriptures tell us the blood goes back into the ground, goes back into the earth. Okay? So, I mean, I think you guys get a little over-righteous sometimes, but it's okay. It's up to you. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. Guess what? The good thing about it, the scriptures tell us all things are not profitable for all men. So you actually don't have to use it. There's other options. If you can get vitamin C from an orange, or you can get vitamin C from a lemon, or you can get it from an apple, or you can get it from thyme. It's your choice of what you want to use, right? There's no one right way, right? Okay. This is a question from I can't pronounce that. It's Sarah Mon Arat. Sorry about that. If you have 1 or 2 acres with your home, is it enough? Oh man, that's more than enough. Listen, I'm going to show you guys people. Hopefully the videos, we got to make sure the videos are not copyrighted, but people who have done huge gardens and they only have like 1/4 to half an acre. You don't need much. That's another thing. The misconception is, I got to get 10 acres. I got to get 100 acres. No, you have to get what you can get for your family. Okay? Right. Can you build basements or bunkers on the land? Well, I would check with my county for such a thing. But I'm sure I see people all over the place on YouTube building sellers and things like that. I don't know. Just always make sure that if you need a license or a permit to do such a thing, okay? Because sometimes you need a permit even to build extra things on your land, like a shed, or you understand, or any other type of barn. Sometimes just for the people who come out and do what do you call them? Y'all know what I'm talking about. To see how much your land is worth. What do you call them again? How can I just forget that quick? The surveyors. Yeah. Okay. I haven't any. Can you have a travel trailer on the land? Are you talking about an RV? Yeah, you can have an RV. You can actually live in an RV on the land. There's some people around me with RVs, they live in their RVs on the land, right? So whatever you need for your family, that you see fit for your family, I think that's what you should discuss with your family to do. Would you recommend solar panels? One thing I'm not going to do on this channel is recommend anything, but do I think personally solar panels are a good idea? I recommend we follow Christ more than anything, but would I recommend solar panels? If I can get solar panels, I would, and that's my goal, to get solar panels. I'm already working on that. So you have to see what's best for you. Okay. It's 8:07. I done went past my time. I'm gonna answer till 8:10. I'm gonna scroll up to see was there any more questions. I'm going to show you guys me harvesting the honey as well. But really, you can just go to the bodybuilding channel and watch it. But I'm also going to bring it on one day because Elder couldn't seem to find that one when he was showing me with Mr. Bruce. I'll show you guys us harvesting the honey. Beautiful thing. I mean, wow. You are wise. Oh, the Holy Spirit is wise. I tell you what, I learned from my elders. I learned from my elders. Would you say the price of land is too expensive right now? No. Nah, not at all. I would say that it's going up, but it's all about searching. It's all about searching. See, there's different reasons to buy land. If I had more money to buy more land, I would buy more land just to hold it because, yeah, the prices are going up, but that doesn't mean you still can't buy land. You can go to different areas. Colorado has cheap land. North Carolina, South Carolina has cheap land. I'm talking about Carolina's got some nice land for cheap. I mean, I look all over, right? So, because it's a good business for real estate that people do as well. Buying land and just holding it. You understand? You don't have to fix nothing up on it, right? So it's not too expensive to buy. Yeah, it's going up though, so I'll say this: you study long, you study wrong. So get on your grind. But I tell you what, one thing I noticed when you pray to the Most High for something, I don't care if everything's going up, He'll have something waiting there just for you. So, would you do internships on your farm? There's already a plan to do certain things on our blank canvas. Yep, we call our blank canvas a Highest Ranch. Okay. Would you do internships on your farms? Well, I can't say right now internships, but there's going to be certain things for, certain body members and children, like petting farms, petting zoo, things like that. So we're going to start somewhere in little classes on how to maybe take care of bees and how to, garden and things like that for those who may not know. Some people live in an apartment. They don't know that they can have ice. When I was in Europe, I had asked my brother Deacon Malak. I had a crazy garden on the patio. I had so much on my patio. I had to ask my sister-in-law's uncle, can I use some of your land to plant my food? And I planted on his whole farm. So sometimes the Most High bless you. He wasn't even using it. He's like, oh yeah, of course. I was about to sell that thing in the stores and everything. That's how much kale I had, because kale was like something very important out there. Let me see. Where is the best place, Elder? Ooh, I can't say where's the best place, but I just said, like, I know the Carolinas had, last time I looked, it was the Carolinas had cheap land, Colorado, but I can't tell anyone where to go. I feel like there's cheap land everywhere, but you just have to look. Sometimes it's an hour out, 20 minutes out, 30 minutes out. You have to see, is this going to keep me too much away from my family, too far from the church or my job? I'm not telling someone go to get three hours out of land. Get land 3 hours out, because how are you going to actually be able to still live a normal life till things shut down? Or you can buy that land and go to it when it's time, but you have to balance out between, and it's all depends on the person's household and finances, okay? But I would say that sisters get counsel from men, though, because it's some work. Get some counsels from your elders, fathers, grandpa, uncle, whoever. It can be some work if you don't have the tools you need. I wouldn't suggest just two sisters say, yeah, we're going to go buy 10 acres. They get out there and don't know they got to cut the grass. They don't know they needed a light pole. Guys, you need to get a light pole. You don't know if you need a light pole with a transformer to make your electricity better. You don't know, sometimes one of the disadvantages of getting land was the internet being weak. So I'm working on getting better internet to actually be able to do gaming and streaming of what I'm doing now. So, all right. So I'm getting ready to get off of here. Would you celebrate tabernacles on your land even though there's snakes? I ain't worried about them snakes. They better worry about me. Listen, we got some machetes and what they call it guns these days, choppers. Them snakes better be worried about me. The only snakes I've seen on my land were like rat snakes, but they did say that they had water moccasins, but we hadn't seen one yet. I'll tell you what, when you got some land, if you get a cat, I don't really like cats, but I'm starting to like them now because she didn't kill the snake under my mobile home already. So I like her now. All right, so I'm going to get ready to go. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. I appreciate my elder for allowing me to come on here and help. They crack it up. Yeah, I appreciate my elder for allowing me to come on here and help. And I want to give honor once again to the Most High and all of the elders, and the elderly. Right, because without them we wouldn't be here and have examples. So that's all I have today. It was just an introduction. I know I stayed on a little longer. If you guys need supplements, I'm just going to put this here for you. Let me don't forget to go to our site here. One moment. Okay, let me transition this for you guys. Don't forget to go to our site, keysupplements.com. We have been helping a lot of people, guys. I'm going to give y'all some of the testimonials on here one day. I'm just going to come on here just for that, how people have been losing weight. People have been getting way more healthy. People come to me all the time, but I ask, why black people don't leave reviews? Why black people don't leave reviews? We need reviews as a new company, right? So we're not Amazon, so we don't ship tomorrow. We're a new company, right? Black owned, Israelite owned, and we don't only sell to Hebrews. We sell, you understand, to all people. Because everyone needs to be healthy. But if you need some supplements, come and check us out, right? I'll just give you just an example here of something that many people don't know about that they should be taking. Okay? Vitamin K2 plus D3. Look into it, research it, and see how important it is. We're not talking about the poison that they're giving our people inside of the hospital, the babies. We're not talking about that. We're talking about proper vitamin K1 that's in greens and K2 that you find in probiotic foods, fatty foods, and organic grass-fed meats. Okay? So, anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. One moment. Let me get this thing back. There we go. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. Peace and blessings. No stressing. And get your mind right. Shalom, everybody. GOCC Media. We'll see you next Tuesday if it be the Lord's will. Don't forget to check out the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Don't forget to check out tomorrow's show, Wednesday night broadcast. Do not forget to check out Elder Ramar, if he does it this week or next week on his Fridays, he be dropping it.